Please make some noise. All right, you came to the right place, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Julie. It's my absolute pleasure to serve you today as your MC on this wonderful occasion, especially when we're talking about chocolate. Absolutely cannot resist. And on behalf of Valiram and Ladurok, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today for a very special occasion, a masterclass in chocolate artistry led by the one and only Ilyas Ladurok. Let's make some noise. He's amongst us here today. Now, it's a very rare opportunity that we get to witness this artistry up close and personal. So I really hope you brought your appetite, and because we are in for a treat, both literally and figuratively. And I know outside we've all had the opportunity to taste this world-class Swiss chocolate, but tonight we've got a very, very special masterclass that we want to showcase how you can actually make this winning recipe that earned him this title of World Chocolate Master. But before we get to all of that chocolate indulgence, I think it's important for us to also recognize and acknowledge this beautiful partnership between two iconic brands. We have Valiram, who is the pioneer in luxury retail with more than 8 decades of bringing world-class brands to Southeast Asia. Can we have a big round of applause for Valiram? And of course, together with Ladurok, that is a world-renowned Swiss family-owned chocolatier that is synonymous with exquisite craftsmanship and quality. And together with this beautiful marriage, it is the reason why we're here this evening. So to officially kick things off, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome on stage Mukesh Valiram, who is the Executive Director of Valiram, to share with us a few words of welcome. Mukesh.
Lights. I can't see any of you. Hang on. You do this so well. I thought I was going to come up here and feel like the professor for today, you know, a classroom that I never got to teach. Or do I say it's movie night? But no, more importantly, tonight is celebrating chocolate. And we are so excited to have a very special guest in Elias over here to be the professor, to be the showstopper, to be the movie maker, and to give us a lot of delicious treats. So before anything more that I have to say, first a warm round of applause and welcome for Elias. We are really grateful, the whole Valiram family and group, our organization, for the partnership with Ladurok. We have been working for many, many months and in trying to get the perfect location in that launch. And we were so excited to be bringing it to TRX as the first store in Malaysia. And we couldn't have done that without the support of the management of TRX in believing in that vision. And very soon you will see more locations that open up across KL and Malaysia, so that we can satisfy everyone's indulgence for great chocolate. With that, we are also very grateful for all of you here today and the members of the media and influencers for actually indulging with us and trying out the brand. I was talking to some of our guests outside just before this. It was the first time to sample the product, and I'm so happy that everyone's had a great first reaction and loving the taste of what they tried. Without further ado, sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mukesh, for that warm welcome remarks. Now feast your eyes on the screen, and we've got a special video for you.
chocolate. You are super focused, you're super technical, with extreme precision and dedication. Your attention to detail is second nature. Overall, amazing, clean, sharp, with a perfect performance.
So, our World Chocolate Master 2018 is Elias.
Pinnacle of any chocolatier's dream.
It is the biggest competition you can do in chocolate, yes, and yeah, still every time I see these pictures, a lot of feelings are coming up and a lot of excitement, and just, yeah, so happy it turned out so well at that time.
How are you feeling right now being your first time in Malaysia, and of course to spread the love and the passion for your family-owned brand?
So it's so amazing to be here. I arrived on Tuesday morning, and I got treated so well. We ate at so many different places, got typical Malaysian food, and all the different kinds of amazing food you have here. I've seen different shopping malls, some local markets yesterday.
We have a lot
so
of malls.
really nice, absolutely. And to see the brand here, it's so amazing. And sometimes I think back to my grandfather, what he would have said. He founded the company, and to see all that, he would be so happy and so proud.
So let's talk about your grandfather. He started the brand in 1962, so that's about 62 years ago. And your brand, Ladurite Chocolate, has a long and rich history and legacy in world-class Swiss chocolate. So do share with us a little bit about the brand, how it all began, and how it has evolved over the years.
Yes, gladly. So our grandfather started it. He was actually a baker. He learned at his father's place, but then somehow he discovered his love for chocolate. So he wanted to start his own chocolate boutique. But at these times, he didn't get the funds from the bank because there was no security. They didn't believe in it. So he basically started in his basement doing chocolates for other chocolatiers. So it was this classical professional B2B business. And that's basically the first 30, 40 years of the brand was a B2B brand. So Läderach was not known as a consumer brand. And he was very creative as well. By the way, he loved competitions. He did a few of them. So I got his genes, very nice. And then our father took over, and he then had the opportunity in 2004 to take over a chocolate retail chain in Switzerland called Merkur. And they didn't have their own production, but they had amazing locations around Switzerland at nice spots, And he took that very bold step at a time and took that over. And that's how we became basically a consumer brand. And at the same time, in 2004, we also introduced the Frischschoki. So it's called fresh chocolate, what you see basically here, and what you have tasted outside and on your plates. Don't touch it yet, please. So that is the story of the Frischschoki, which was then a huge success and which is our iconic product. And maybe a last milestone I can highlight was in 2012, we started producing our own chocolate. Because before, as every small chocolatier, or most of the small chocolatiers, we bought the chocolate and then we produced our Frischschoki, our pralines and all the products out of it. But then we, especially as a family, we didn't know where the beans come from, how are the circumstances there, quality, all these issues, and we said we want to go directly to the farmers and source it directly. So to have the whole supply chain from bean to our own retail stores, and we only have it in own stores, so not in the market, And that's very valuable for us to have that value chain in our own hands.
Oh, fantastic. It looks like a really long and illustrious history. Thank you so much for sharing with us on that wonderful journey. So fresh shogi, you mentioned just now, fresh is fresh, and shogi is?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
Yes.
Shogi is chocolate. Did you know that? Fresh shogi.
That's quite close, right?
Quite close. Fresh shogi, chocolate. I like how you say chocolatier. It sounds so delicious when it comes out from your mouth. Okay, so being the third generation, did that sound wrong? All right, back to chocolates. Being the third generation chocolatier, how do you maintain relevant in this modern, ever-evolving chocolate world, but staying true to your roots and heritage?
So our father gave us something, he gave us many things along, but one thing he gave us along is let's always challenge the business models and the products and everything, but but keep true to the values, you know. And I think that's a key to all types of businesses. We have to go with the time. We have to see, okay, what is in trend? What can we do? What can we challenge? We like this phrase, we make fresh chocolate, but we also make chocolate fresh. So we like to play with that word, to challenge ourselves every day, to make things fresh. So to present the Frischhogi in that way was at that time very fresh, very new, very crazy. You know, we had these pralines usually very nicely ordered, and then these crazy Swiss guys came with these slabs of chocolate. You know, in this presentation, the idea came from the Swiss cheese counter, by the way, where you can go and choose your favorite flavors. So that's the story behind that.
All right, fantastic. Now, we've seen your remarkable achievement that really put Läderach brand in the global stage, right, when it comes to the world of chocolate. What would you say is your biggest achievement, your proudest moment that has led to the growth and success of the brand over the years?
So for me personal, one was definitely winning the World Chocolate Masters. I still get goosebumps when I see this. But then it's also so amazing for me to now go around the world and do together with my brothers, with our family, and with great partners like Valiram, this worldwide expansion, you know, to see our stores around the world, and especially to see how people just love the chocolate, you know. It's such an emotional, beautiful, nice product, and it's so amazing and fulfilling if you see then that everywhere you go, when people taste it, it puts a smile on their face. That's so nice.
That's right. I believe that a lot of us are professional chocolate eaters, but we're not professional chocolate makers. Perhaps you can walk us through the creative process behind making one of these masterpieces. You know, what is your personal brand and philosophy when it comes to making chocolate?
So to create a chocolate, it can be very different. You know, sometimes it's almost luck to get something. Sometimes it's just very unromantic, sitting at a table and brainstorming about ideas. But what I feel is very important, and again, this is about these values that we take along from generation to generation, to stick to quality. You know, for example, talking about hazelnuts, we only choose the ones from Piedmont, Italy. Yes, they are the most expensive ones, but it's kind of the Ferrari of the hazelnuts, you know. And these, to stick to that quality, to stick to the freshness, the shelf lives that we have that are much shorter than in the industry, these are things, a mindset that we don't want to lose.
And out of all of your iconic creations over the years, which is your personal favorite that best represents who you are and your philosophy?
Don't ask me that. That's a too difficult question.
Okay,
No.
top two.
Usually I say it depends on my mood, you know.
Oh, I relate to that. All women do. Mood swings.
No, if I'm just craving chocolate, then it's exactly this product. It's milk chocolate with the caramelized hazelnuts. But then I love to go through like our single origins, you know, from different origins, regions, countries, and to taste the differences. Can be together with a glass of wine, you know, to do a nice pairing. So that's why we have such a broad assortment, you know. It's really difficult to choose one. But if I have to choose one, it's this one here.
I see. There is a flavor for every mood and every occasion of the day. So thank you so much for sharing with us. A personal question though, you know, because it is known, this analogy that never trust a skinny chef. Does that apply for chocolatiers as well? Just wondering.
Now you got me. I would say that the healthiest thing you can get is being happy. Okay, and chocolate, we all know that makes you happy. So that would be my answer to that.
So chocolate a day keeps the doctor away, basically.
Exactly.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Ilyas Läderach, ladies and gentlemen. And now we are going to the root source of this magical journey of chocolate, where it all begins, at a humble cocoa bean. So Läderach's commitment to quality begins right at the very source, from sourcing, you know, only the finest cocoa farms to ensure that only the finest beans gets into their chocolate. And I believe that the journey from bean to bar truly is a fascinating one, and we've sort of encapsulated this wonderful journey from the beginning, from the cocoa bean itself, in this video with the harvesting of the cocoa bean. So let's take a look at how it's done.
The cocoa farm is part of my family.
vemos no
It's
solo
not just like a brother, it's also like a son.
soy Edwin Siva.
I'm Edward Sabawa, a cocoa farmer from Upala.
Estos
Our
árboles
trees bear the cocoa type Trinitario.
un balance ahí
We harvest about 50 fruits per tree annually on average,
por año. Y nos
yielding around 10 to 11 bars of dark chocolate.
a 11 barras. Todos
We want to operate the farm in such a way that future generations will be able to follow in our footsteps.
mente. Con Juan Pablo
The
Hernández
friendship with Juan Pablo is important for our cocoa processing.
y eso nos hizo
We are
llevar
constantly sharing our knowledge with each other.
los conocimientos que teníamos. He podido
I've achieved efficient production through the use of fertilizer that we produce ourselves.
Entonces, interactuamos
We exchange ideas not only with our neighbors, but also with cocoa farmers all over the country.
nacional, ¿verdad?
Los próximos pasos
The next steps are the fermentation and the drying of the cocoa.
y el secado del grano de cacao. Durante la
During fermentation, the sugar in the bean turns into alcohol,
y el
and the fruit juice drains out,
se drena. De esta manera
allowing the flavors to develop.
empiezan a desarrollar. La duración
The duration, heat, and temperature of the beans are key to good fermentation. Drying is just as important as fermentation.
un acuerdo
In consultation with Laderac, we work with a very slow and careful process that seals in all the flavors in the beans. We carefully ensure that the beans have a water content of no more than 7% and that their appearance and taste meet the requirements for export to Europe. For me, the best thing about cocoa is that I can bring together happy people who make other people happy.
Ese sería para
This is my dream,
que en otras partes
that people in other parts of the world will be able to enjoy fruits and products of Costa Rica that have been created in harmony with nature.
armonioso con el medio ambiente.
Alright, so that is how the cocoa bean is harvested. Now we've seen a lot about it, we've heard a lot about it, we've talked a lot about chocolate. I think it's time for us to taste some chocolate. Ilyas, what do you say? Anyone ready to eat some chocolates? Yeah, okay. You know, I'm already salivating looking at the cocoa beans. Now do share with us, rather than just plunking it into our mouth as what we would normally do, what would be the best way for us to best enjoy and bring out these flavors of the Laderac chocolate?
I'll gladly do that, and we'll do that in a few steps over the next 10 to 15 minutes, because I often get that question, you know, how do you taste chocolate correctly? We are more trained to do that with wine or other things, but with chocolate, not everyone knows. But if you walk out here, my aim is to have 220 chocolate specialists that go out there and know how to taste and enjoy chocolate best. So let's start very early in the process. So on your table you should have chocolate cocoa beans and cocoa nibs. So that's just, I wanted to bring it along and to show you what you have seen in the movie. So the cocoa beans, I mean, you can try to crack it open and taste it a bit. That's not so nice yet because they are fermented, they are dried, but they are not yet roasted. If you're courageous enough, you can bite on it and taste it. It's quite sour still. You get these very green notes, how we call them. And then on the other side, you have the cocoa nibs. So these are roasted cocoa nibs. You can gladly taste them. You will have that flavor, that rich flavor of cocoa together with that roasty notes. So for me, already very delicious. We use it also in some of our products as an ingredient. I think it tastes quite good. So you have to give me some time in between because I want to also taste. Otherwise, you all eat chocolate and I can't. So that's not possible. So there are two different ways to roast cocoa. I would say most of the producers, they roast the entire beans and take the shell off later. And we roast the cocoa nibs. So we take first the...
And he's here to give us a live demonstration on one of his winning recipes. Do share with us this recipe. And what I was told is that this recipe, this chocolate that he's going to create, and all of us will be able to taste it here today, is not for sale. So we can't actually find this anywhere else.
Exactly. So the bad news is you cannot buy it. The good news is if you're still here after I'm done, you will get one to taste one. So
we're not going anywhere.
Very good. So it's a very quite a complex chocolate bonbon, a praline, that has 3 different layers that I'm gonna do in front of you. It's a mandarin, and then we have a mixture of milk and dark chocolate ganache, and crunchy chanduya to finish it off in a beautiful mold that we made especially for the competition.
All right, please go ahead.
I'll go and work, and you guys can enjoy your popcorn and look what I'm doing.
Okay, fantastic.
So I have Yolanda with me who supports me. Thank you for coming. Big round of applause for her. She prepared everything here. So if I'm messing it up, it's my mistake and not hers. Okay. So let's get it right here. So first of all, I'm starting that. This is the mold that I have. Again, we did that for the Chocolate Master, for the competition itself. We designed a mold. And I'm gonna prepare the 2 first fillings in the beginning. So this is the mandarin compote, the coulis, and then we have a ganache. Then I will make the mold itself, put some color in, and then fill it with chocolate and fill everything. So in here I have prepared the juice, the mandarin juice, with some sugar already inside, and I'm warming it up. I bring it to a boil. I wish you could all stand here because it smells amazing. I'll bring it to a quick boil. And then on this side here I have a mixture of some additional sugar and then some agar-agar and pectin. These are 2 natural. So the pectin is from fruits, from apples, and agar-agar is some kind of, how do you call that in English? Algae, algae from the sea, you know, the green stuff from the sea. It's an extraction of that, and that gives that nice consistency afterwards to the chocolate itself. So this was cooking. I add the pectin and the sugar. I bring it to a boil once again, coming down a little bit with temperature, and then I'll add here a nice piece of lemongrass to cook with it, and let it just in here for about 1 minute, where I give it some power. And now you smell it, you're close enough, right? And then very important, fresh mandarin, and I just add a little bit of zest to it. Oh, it smells even better now. Sorry for you guys. About half of it, only the outer side of the mandarin, that it doesn't get the bitter part, which is the white part then. Bring it to a boil once again. Perfect. Switch it off. Just take the lemongrass out. And this is already it for the coulis, so I'll put it into the bag and just let it cool down. So it has also this beautiful orange color that we and you will also see and experience when you eat the praline, the chocolate itself. So usually you can just put it on the table and fold it around so that it will melt, will cool down beautifully. So that's the first filling that is prepared. We let it chill a little bit to cool down. Now second one is a very rich but nicely balanced ganache. So ganache is usually used in truffles and pralines. It's a water-based combination of, sometimes it's a fruit juice, or most of the time cream, fresh cream that we have in there. So here again, already in my little pan, I bring it to a boil as well. And then on the other side here I have a mixture of milk and dark chocolate. So why is it a mixture? It's really to balance perfectly the sweetness of the praline. So in a competition like that, it really depends on every detail. So you work so many times on your recipes, and you do it again and again to figure out the right flavor profile. It's also, for a competition, there are 20 contestants. So usually, or not usually, you have to win your the pre-selection in your country or in your region. And if you win that, you are allowed to go to the big final in Paris. And there you must imagine every country can bring its own judge, who will judge all the country except their own country, obviously. So I'm putting this warm hot cream over the chocolate, that it melts nicely. So as I said, you have all these judges from all around the world. So you need some kind of, it's a bit hard to explain, but some kind of mainstream flavors, because you need to have some recipes that taste well for the Japanese judge, for the Swiss judge, and for the Mexican judge. And if you do like a cheese praline, which I would maybe do, it's maybe not very wise for a competition like that. So you need flavors that are appreciated by everyone. And also, now I'm mixing it here. Also very important for a competition, we are 20 people there, 20 contestants. The jury has to taste 20 pralines, and you don't know if you are the last one. The jury had already 19 pralines, which is quite a lot. So you have to have flavors that really punch, you know. So the jury member must eat it and must realize, okay, it's this and this flavor. I realize the flavors, it's good, it's on point. So you want to have very clear flavors. So you can see, I hope you can see, so that you have this liquid ganache, beautiful texture. Thank you. I'll add a bit of butter to give it that smooth finish when you eat it. Thank you. Give it a mix once again. Voila, done. So that's a consistency you want to have, beautifully and smooth. So we also cool it down. Thank you. Put it in a piping bag. You see, so quickly to make a praline. You're all going home and doing pralines on your own. So that's the second filling. Ready, and we cool it down a little bit as well. So now we are, while this is cooling down, we are working on the chocolate shell. And for this, prepare quickly. I'll quickly show you how we do the airbrush. So this one is already done, but I want to show you later on. So we put some cocoa butter in there that is colored. So this is food grade coloring that we mix with cocoa butter, and that gives that beautiful shine, first of all, to the chocolate. So these are hard molds, and when you put the cocoa butter in there, you will have a beautiful shine at the end. So we cover it with different kinds of colorings. So we have some green in it, we have some yellow and red in it, and finish it off with some white. So it's quite complex. And what I'm using here is basically an airbrush. This is also used for airbrush art. You can use it for showpieces. You can draw crazy pictures with it. Some of the ladies might know it from the nails. I think they use it also when they do your nails. I never did, but I heard of it. Yeah. Probably not visible in the camera, but I put.
So Elias, what color is being sprayed on right now?
So that's the green part that I'm doing. Put it away. And now we're going to continue to work with the one I colored with all the three ones. So it's really green in there, it's yellow in there. Thank you. And it's some red in there, so it will give you that different shades of color. You will see it at the end of the product, which I think is very nice. So the theme of the competition was Futuropolis, so the future and metropole, modern cities, how this will work and how we will live in the future. So it's really this topic between nature and architecture, also in the shapes I used, that should come to life. So we have this mold sprayed out with cocoa butter, and now we're going to fill it with chocolate. Oh yeah, thank you. First we'll scratch off a little bit of color. So you see the mold is now filled with the color, and now I just scratch a little bit in the middle out of this color. You will see from the pralines that you will receive at the end, they will have like a dark part in the middle where the chocolate basically shines through, and that is because I'm scratching some part of the mold. I scratch the color out. Okay. So this is dark chocolate. And I'm filling all the molds with some chocolate. So we want to have a very thin chocolate shell. How do we do that? We fill them entirely with chocolate. Then I wait a little bit, and then I turn it around and let it flow out again. So you can see it's filled to the borders. I wait a little bit until the chocolate starts setting a little bit. Then I just flip it around, let the chocolate flow out. And here you can play with the time you wait until you flip it around. It makes the chocolate shell a bit thicker or a bit thinner. So, and like that, I hope you can see it in the camera. You have that beautiful thin layer of chocolate in there. Good. Thank you. So we prepared one that is already set, that we can start right away with filling it. So that is the coulis that we made. We have one that already cooled out, which is here. So we see this mold, it's exactly the same mold, just a chocolate that is set already, and I'm going to fill it with this delicious coulis. So just a thin layer of it, piping it into the mold. And here again, it's so important to play with textures. So the coulis has a texture, and the softness of the ganache and the crunch at the end. It's all about the different flavors, yes, but also, or even more, about the different textures that you have. Then second one, our ganache that we just made before. So a thin layer of chocolate on here. So the rules from the competition, they came out maybe 9 months prior to the competition, so you have this time to work on your recipe and develop it. So you do it not 100 times, but many, many times, that you are ready for this special day to be on point. So this is the ganache that is already set in there, and now comes the final filling. This is a little crunch. I'll mix it here. So this is now a chanduya, and the chanduya, in contrast to the ganache that we had before, is usually a paste or a filling based on nuts. So here we have hazelnut paste, beautiful texture, and again here we use the Piemonteser hazelnuts. Even when we grind it down, we put in some chocolate. In everything there needs to be some chocolate, obviously. And then some crunchy, it's a bit like a crunchy baked ingredient that we have here, a wafer, so to say. Mix this first. Now adding this crunch to it. So that's actually a very easy filling, but very tasty, very tasty. The hazelnut paste, you can do it yourself. You roast the hazelnut quite dark, that you get all the nice flavor out, and then you add some caramelized sugar to it, and you mix it down, and you have the most tasteful and beautiful chanduya that you can get.
How much time were you allocated in the championship to complete this one chocolate?
So this one was probably, it is a bit difficult to say because you have different tasks, 7 different tasks, and then you start with the one, and in between you do the next while this stuff is waiting, and cooling down. But overall, I would say maybe 45 minutes to do it. And Yolanda was not there, so very difficult. Well, she was there and sweating, but she could only look and not help, unfortunately. Yeah. So we put this crunch on, tiny bit. And the competition overall was 3 half days with 7 different tasks.
That's right. Behind every great baker and chocolatier, we have a Yolanda. So a big shout out to Yolanda.
Exactly. So voila. And then there's one that is already closed. Thank you. And here we're gonna do the final, because now we have the 3 different fillings in there. So we have to close it with chocolate before we can turn it around and enjoy the finished bonbon. So we're almost at the end here. These are the finished one. I'll open them up right afterwards so we can look inside.
One of the things you taught me early on before we begin is that bonbon is actually synonymous with praline, which is also what you would call in your country pralini. So whether it's praline, pralini, bonbon, they're the same thing?
They are the same things, yeah. You have different regions, different cultures, they all call it a bit different. But it's actually all the same thing, yeah. The Americans love to call it chocolate bonbons. In Switzerland, praline, and pralines is often heard, so it's all the same thing. All taste delicious. So I put a bit of chocolate on here, right on the edges. Like that. Voila. So they are closed. So usually you put them now in a fridge to just let them chill and they get the chocolate harden, and then what we're going to do now, take them out of the mold and distribute it to you. So that's
all right, are you ready to give it a try? The winning recipe from World Chocolate Master. How long do you actually chill it for? Because I know some of us are taking notes and we're going to try it at home. How long do you actually chill for and what temperature is ideal? I'm asking for
What's the question? Sorry, ask me again.
How long do you actually chill it for in the fridge and what's the ideal temperature?
So usually you don't go too cold, so rather a bit longer but not too cold, because if you shock it very much, the shine on the chocolates will not be very nice. So you chill it at 10 degrees, 12 degrees, ideally, you know. If you do it at home, you probably put it into the fridge to demold it, yeah.
Okay, because in Malaysia, not too cold means 20 degrees. You know, it's very different from Switzerland, not too cold is 10 degrees.
Good, so I suggest that the chocolates get distributed now. I want to cut it open one for you to see. I hope we can see it in the camera. Let's just get a little knife. So I hope you can catch the shot, how they look like, but you will see it now when you get them. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I'll try to cut one open.
Oh, I can hear the crunch.
A crunch, a cluck, even if we have a filling inside, that's good. So you art pieces, and that's what I love to do, to give attention to every product that we do and to let people enjoy it in the best way they can. Okay, so I have to try now.
You mean we can actually come on stage and have that?
I don't mind.
Just not for show? Oh, you better be careful because we've got a very hungry crowd over here, hungry for world-class chocolate. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, Ilyas Ladurok. Absolutely love this one. Okay? How would you describe it in 3 words?
I need more.
Fantastic. We have more. All right, congratulations. Thank you very much, Ilyas. And of course, if you have any questions at all, Ilyas will be around to answer any questions that you may have. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for bringing us on a masterclass for us to better appreciate truly the world of chocolate and how we actually witness it firsthand is, you know, amazing. I think we can't get this experience anywhere else, so up close and personal. So thank you very much once again to Ilyas. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure with you guys.
I hope your bellies are happy and the fun is about to begin from here on, because as Ilyas mentioned, this is just an appetizer, right, for what's coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite you to further indulge yourself in a beautiful world of chocolate with Ladurok. We've got more outside at the Ladurok Cafe, in which you were waiting in before the event begins. So we would like to invite all of you to adjourn to the Ladurok Cafe for the after party. We've got more chocolates, more drinks, and we've got a DJ as well for the perfect accompaniment. One last question. Is there a perfect match that you would recommend if I'm having white chocolate or milk chocolate or dark chocolate together with red or white wine? Is there a perfect pairing to that?
So the one that really, I was so surprised, but it amazed me. It was the blonde chocolate, our blonde chocolate. So the one with the caramelized milk powder. You'll see it with this nice caramel flavored color, the one on the popcorn. This one combined with a port wine, a Porto.
Oh.
This was so amazing. But in general, dark chocolate goes very well with a red wine.
Okay. Milk chocolate with white wine?
With milk chocolate white wine is a bit more difficult because the acidity of the milk and the wine can somehow disturb themselves, you know.
Okay.
But you can white chocolate you have beautiful with champagne, for example, or our I had beautiful combinations of our raspberry chocolate, the pink one, together with a champagne, also very nice. Yeah.
All right, so let's give it a try outside. We've got ample beverages, we've got ample Ladurok chocolates available for you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here today for this wonderful masterclass in chocolate artistry with Ilyas Ladurok. Thank you so much. I truly hope you enjoyed this experience. It was absolutely a gift to the bellies here today. Remember, we're counting memories, not calories. So ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to come forward if you want to take pictures or if you want to grab some chocolate, or would like to invite you to adjourn for the after party outside. We'll see you there. Thank you.